no problem. I got you. Start in L.A., Matt Stafford dazzled in his Rams debut. I used that word. I said dazzled. He came, he saw, he conquered the Chicago Bears with flair. Finished 321 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here was QB1 on his Rams debut.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of anticipation for this game. You know, for me, you know, it's a new experience for me, a new place, new stadium, new fans, the whole deal. But this team has embraced me, and I really appreciate that. You know, I've done everything I can to try to, you know, just work as hard as I can and you know, get myself in this team, and they wrapped their arms around me, and it felt good to go out there and play with them tonight. Such incredible players on this team. I'm lucky to be a part of it. You know, I want to do everything I can to try and lead this team to where we want to go. Obviously, this is just one. Got to keep building on this, but it felt great to get out there and go play.
How about that, Matthew Stafford? So, Broussard, did last night prove that the preseason hype for Stafford and the Rams is real?
Well, yeah, it was a great debut. I mean, one of the greatest team debuts we've ever seen from a quarterback, and to do it against a defense that was in the top 10 previously. Last year, they struggled a little bit, but over the last few seasons, this has been one of the league's better defenses, and Stafford proved to be all that he was advertised to be. And the thing is that they didn't even use him as much as they could. He only threw it 26 times. So imagine, there's going to be games, I'm sure, where he's throwing it in the 40s as far as attempts, and you could see big things coming. Now Sean McVay is able to use a little bit more of his playbook. They obviously had the 2 long passes. So, so far, so good for the Rams. And they're going to need to be this good because that division is no joke. Everybody won in that division.
Right. Division's totally undefeated. It's the opposite of the NFC North, where the division is totally defeated. Listen, Stafford was exceptional last night. There is no taking anything away from that. But no, it didn't answer the questions I have. The question about Matt Stafford is, how is he going to play in big moments? How is he going to play against good teams? Because despite Al and Chris doing a 2-hour monologue last night about how absolutely nothing that ever happened in Detroit was Matt Stafford's fault, some of it was. And the 8-65 career record, 8-65 is what they put on the screen last night against teams with a winning record. That's a real thing. So, no, listen, I think we all picked the Rams to win that division. We think they're going to be good. I need to see them against good teams. The real story in this football game, to me, was the Chicago Bears' mismanagement of the quarterback situation is the type of things that should cost people jobs. Andy Dalton has no business starting in the NFL on a team with Justin Fields on it. The team was drawing dead the moment Dalton threw that end zone interception on the opening drive of the game. Justin Fields should start immediately. They play, I think, Cincinnati next week. He should be the starter and try to see if the Bears can get a good season together. That, to me, was a bigger story than Stafford, who obviously, Jenna, was exceptional last night.
All right, sit back, Wilds. We head back to Foxborough. In the battle of former Bama quarterbacks yesterday, it was Tua who came out on top over Mac Jones, but just barely. Miami gets the close 17-16 win, but Mac looked pretty good, pretty comfortable. Finished with 281 yards and the touchdown, no interceptions. Most passing yards by a Pats QB in his first career start. Here was Mac on where he goes from here.
Yeah, I think we can get better. That's just how we have to look at it. Definitely wasn't good enough starting with me. Yeah, so we got to watch the film, and we lost, so it's not good enough.
He's so quiet, I can barely hear him. Wilds, should Pats fans be encouraged or discouraged after the Week 1 loss?
Encouraged, Jenna. Mac Jones, come here, buddy. I'm Robin Williams, and you're Matt Damon. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's the penalties' fault. We had 85 yards in penalties. It's not your fault. We had 85 yards in penalties. Most of them do very well. I'm going to take to the old social media to put up an explanation. Let's take a look. Got my fanny kicked today. No way around that. I let the team and the fans down. Thank you, Chandler Jones, for exposing me. It will only force me to get better. Look, we've all had rough days at work. You can go home and have yourself a glass of wine. maybe a glass of fine bourbon. But if you're our old buddy Taylor, you know what I recommend for you, my friend? A nice Catfish beer. Remember when you were at the Nashville Predators game? Boom, pour a beer down to Catfish.
Yeah.
Forget about Chandler Jones. Go to your local fishmonger. Grab yourself a Catfish, pour a few beers down, get ready for next week, buddy.
That's so gross.
That's great. Yeah.
That's
right. No,
literally.
it's smart.
It's a good stress reliever.
Yeah, that's what Chandler Jones was doing to him, Jenna.
Is it?
Pouring beers on his head all night.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
Let's
thought my
watch
one
some
beer
real
was good.
highlights now. Let's
Draw
watch
the
some
blank
real
now,
highlights.
Browns Chiefs.
Yeah.
A little too close for some,
Who's
I
red?
would imagine.
Yeah.
This came down to the
please.
wire again.
Never in doubt.
Patrick Mahomes.
Nope, never a doubt.
Tossing touchdowns to Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce in the fourth quarter to take the lead. One last chance for the Browns, but Baker, what are you going to do, buddy? Come on, be the hero. You didn't get paid. Gets picked off by Mike Hughes. Broussard, the Browns oh so close, 33-29 loss to the Chiefs. It was blank.
Exasperating. And obviously this is from the perspective of Browns fans. But Nick, and I don't want to become the king of moral victories. I talked about Dallas outplaying Tampa Bay in the loss.
Yeah, here we go.
I think the Browns outplayed Kansas City. They marched up and down the field on them.
Did everything you wanna
153
do
yards
except
rushing,
win.
I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
And it has to eat them up because the reason they lost were self-inflicted wounds. Now, I'm a guy that I picked Kansas City, Nick, and I picked them to win the Super Bowl and beat these Browns in the AFC title game. But I'm saying I'm objective. All right, and they outplayed them, and if it wasn't for the fumbled snap on the punt, Nick, they fumbled a snap on the punt with 8 minutes left. You give Pat Mahomes, 15 yards they needed to score, and they did. And that was a game-winning touchdown. And then Baker's interception. I'm not going to kill Baker. He's trying to make something happen. He should have just taken the sack, but he didn't know the guy was going to clip him in his feet as he threw. I think he was trying to throw it out of bounds and throw it away, and it went short. And then Nick Chubb's fumble, only the 5th of his career. So self-inflicted wounds is what beat Cleveland more than Kansas City, Nick. More than Kansas City.
And I love the fumbled snap on the punt was the turning point, because if they hadn't fumbled the snap on the punt, Chiefs would have had a long field. What do the Chiefs do with a long field? Can we show the Tyreek Hill touchdown that came right before it? Because this was a one-punch knockout. And this is why beating the Chiefs is so difficult. It reminds me of underrated Damon Wayans movie, The Great White Hype, where you have the underdog who is winning and landing jab after jab after jab. It's like, could an upset be brewing? And then blammo over the top right, and it's like, what happened? The moment that the Browns had just had a methodical 75-yard touchdown drive to go up 9. And then what happens? The Chiefs go full Chief, one play 75 yards, and now all of a sudden you get scared. Very next play, Baker sack. 2 plays later, you're fumbling a snap on a punt. Chiefs touchdown. Couple plays after that, Baker's throwing a pick. Good night, good luck. This is the problem. Everyone's like, here's the blueprint for beating Kansas City. Time of possession, run the ball. That's hard. You know what's easy? This. And you know what is demoralizing? This. And now all of a sudden, with Arrowhead, with fans in it again, full capacity, Travis Kelce, hey, maybe guard him or guard Tyreek. So yeah, listen, the Browns, as everybody almost does, you played so well and you were so close and you coulda, shoulda, woulda, but no. You lost because you were playing Patrick Mahomes. So annoying. What? One-punch knockout. Put my answer on the screen, America. One-punch knockout. I didn't say that just for effect. Put it on the screen. Go ahead, Wilds. Thank you.
We get it. All right, first of all, if you want to talk about one-punch knockouts, there's literally a trillion examples. You have to be like, it's like the Damon Wayans movies. Just say any boxer. Yeah. So, unfortunately, Nick is correct, but there is still a blueprint. This was blueprint 2. Blueprint 2. So this is what you have to do. Be aggressive and don't make self-inflicted wounds. They went for the 2-point conversion after penalty. I like that. They were 3 for 4 on 4th downs. Yeah. I like that. But punters, all punters, your name is punter. Not your birth name, but that's your job. Punter. It's not punter/runner. So just punt it. You still had a chance to punt. You drive, punt it. Don't take off. Don't get inspired by Pat McAfee or inspired by Tyreek Hill. Wherever, just pick it up and punt it again. Just punt no matter what. No running. This never works. It never works. McAfee did one cool play, and all punters start growing their hair out thinking they can be the stars.
Jenna.
Punt the ball, my friend.
Jenna, what color's my tie this morning?